Hi, this is John and welcome to the Contemplative Commuter. So heading into the office this morning, so this isn't a kitchen vid or a summer house vid, it's a genuine sat in the car commuting video. And today's thought is going to be about testing one of my biases, which I think is always a healthy thing to do. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, and I'll put some links at the end of this one, you'll know I'm a big fan of the keto diet. But do you know what? It's good to test your biases. I think it's a really good way to eat. It's helped me lose a lot of weight. But do you know what? It's not perfect. And this morning I wanted to give you count them, 5 downsides or maybe things I hate about the ketogenic diet. So I'm going to start with number 1, and this is feedback from my wife Sarah. My breath has definitely changed over the years since I've been eating keto, and do you know what? It's not pleasant. It's got that fruity tinge. It's not fresh breath. I've had to move to I purchased this at the weekend, one of those little mint mouth sprays to take away my horrible breath. There we go, I've said it, it's out there. I have got bad breath because of keto. Consider that if you are thinking about starting keto as your kind of eating or diet plan. So that's number 1. Number 2, you become obsessed about numbers. And I've done this, whether it's what your ketone levels are, what your macros are, how many carbohydrates you've ate during the day, what your protein intake's been, how many grams of fat you've eaten. It's really not how a normal person thinks about food or their blood measurements. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing, and maybe in some ways it's good you're just being a little bit more mindful. But I have seen, whether it's on keto forums or whether it's my own experience, you become a little bit obsessive over metrics and numbers, which, do you know what, it's not great. Number 3, and this is a biggie, and this is why I'm making this video. You can become a little bit evangelical once you start a certain eating regimen, whether it's being a vegan, a vegetarian, carnivorous diet, ketogenic diet. It does kind of start to turn into a religion for some people, and I've been like this because, like I said, you see it working for you, so you can't understand why everybody doesn't eat this way. It takes you probably a good few years or actually being a little bit more open-minded, that keto or any specific eating regimen, it might work for you. It doesn't mean it works for everybody else. So stop trying to shove it down other people's throats. And I have been like that at one point in time, thinking keto is the cure-all for everything. It's not. On to number 4, and it's kind of related, and this again is where I look to my wife, who is eminently sensible. She eats in moderation and keeps slim and fit and healthy eating that way. Unfortunately, I am a glutton for sweet things, and the reason keto probably works for me, and this is another thing people should consider, it is a very restrictive way of eating. When you go out to restaurants, you really need to consider, well, kind of the restaurant you're going to, but also you always obsess about what's on the menu. It is a restrictive way of eating. I love, for example, chips. I just don't eat them anymore. Or Doritos or things like that. I have restricted my the smorgasbord of foods I could select from. I've restricted them. It works for a glutton like me. It might not work for you, but I think maybe it is quite a restrictive way of eating. Is that healthy? I'm not so sure. And number 5, so this is another kind of thing I hate about keto, and it relates to the restrictive eating, is the constant explanation of what it is when people see you eating in a funny, odd way. Like, why aren't you eating the potatoes? Why don't you want any crisps? Sort of why you are restricting your carbohydrate intake. First of all, you have to explain to a lot of people what a carbohydrate is, that can become slightly draining and boring, but also trying to explain to people what keto is, even though it's quite a trendy and hot way to eat. It does become a bit tiring, and people give you funny looks about when you try and explain you gain the majority of your calories through fat. The first response is, well, isn't fat incredibly unhealthy? And then you kind of get drawn into an argument, a debate about healthy fats, unhealthy fats, the history of how fats have become demonized, and it makes you sound very, very boring. So that's kind of the 5 things I maybe hate about the keto diet, trying to address my own biases there. I'd love to hear what you think, whether you eat in a ketogenic way or not. Please watch my other videos, comment, like, hate, subscribe, share, do whatever you think is best. It comes back to, I really am trying to build a community on this channel. I can never say channel. It always ends up as ch or challenge, but I want to build a community on this channel to help people live longer, feel better, look better, create debate, discourse, support, whatever it is, but really build a community here. So I'd love to hear your feedback, and like I said, watch my other videos, tell me what you think. I want to really try and develop quality content for you. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for that. Bye bye.